Hey guys, it's Matt with Olympus Reptiles. Today we're continuing our videos about showing you our animals in our collection, what they mean to us, and how we came across them. And the first one we talked about my jungle jack, Kronos, back there. And after I had him for a while, I kind of started looking into more snake stuff and reading and doing more research. And I realized that in my time away from snakes, how many of these really cool ball python morphs there were. Because before I kind of wasn't into ball pythons. They were small, they weren't big. You know, I like my boa constrictors. But seeing all these really cool morphs and the cool genetics got me really excited and pulled me in. And so then I decided I was going to buy a second snake. And I wanted a ball python. And I wanted an Axanthic ball python. Which meant enter this guy here, who's in shed. See, skin is literally starting to come off right now. Like he is going to shed any moment. But consequently, he looks terrible. Sorry about him looking horrible. He's got a few scales he's already knocked off. But this guy I found looking at formats and things. And the gentleman I bought him from was in Kansas City, which isn't too far away. So to Kansas City I went to buy my first ball python, which is this Axanthic male here, who really has good color, but he doesn't so much look like it now because he's about to shed. But it was the day to film the video, and since I'm trying to go in order of the snakes I got, we had to do this one. Problem was, the guy had two snakes he was selling. And the other one was a bumblebee ball python. Well, I really only wanted this second snake. I thought two was enough. We hadn't decided to breed yet. That part hadn't come into my thought process. At least not at the moment. And so I made a few phone calls, and I found that our local shop would buy the bumblebee from me. And they were going to buy the bumblebee from me for enough money that it would actually have paid for my Axanthic. So I was like, sweet, I'm going to get a free snake, and a free snake that I've been looking for. So I went, and don't mind the writing on there, it's just a tub I happened to find from a show, but he's not for sale if you're wondering. So I went, hey, get in there. And you can see how close he is to shedding. There's belly scales coming off of my hand. He's going to have a messy shed. So I went and picked him up, and this was a bumblebee I got. My boy Apollo, who's laying in my cobra basket. How cool is that? So I went there, and I thought, man, this snake's really cool. I didn't realize how cool this snake was going to be. Of course, he was younger then. He was around 650 grams, so he was a lot brighter than he is now. He's also getting close to a shed cycle. It's just that time of year for my males. But I thought, no, I'm going to sell him. I only want two snakes. So I took him. We went back, drove 2 hours. I went directly to the reptile shop in Manhattan, and I found they were closed. And there was a sign on the door that they were closed for a show. So I was in a pickle, because I only had one cage set up, so I didn't plan on keeping two snakes. But I had two snakes I have to keep for at least a day. So I had to go buy another cage and buy all the equipment and get all of that done, which I did. And I thought then, if I have to buy all this, that bumblebee's really cool, I'm going to keep him. So all of a sudden, without meaning to, I had three snakes. Erobos, an Apollo, and my jungle jag, my male. And if you remember me telling you, if you guys are going to breed ball pythons, buy your females first. Male and male. So all I have is boys. But these two guys here are what really lit my fire to start breeding ball pythons. As I started looking more and more into it and kept doing more and more research, I found more and more combos and morphs I want. It was at this point I fell in love with zebra bees, which you've heard me talk about. That's when that kind of started to happen. He's all over today. See if he'll calm down so we can get him some on good film. And I knew where I was going to head. Like I knew what I wanted to do. So that was what really started me down the road to breeding ball pythons and finding the morphs I wanted. I was starting to think not so much in the shape of, oh, that's a really cool snake, that being a part of it, but everything I buy having a purpose towards breeding as well. So anyway, that's my first two ball pythons. And the reason I did their video together is I got them at the same time. So it's my SK Axanthic male that was originally produced by John Dog, and or John Dag, I'm not sure how he pronounces it, and my bumblebee male that I picked up at the same time from a parking lot in Kansas City. which seems to be where a lot of reptile deals happen, is parking lots. Kurt, any questions about these two guys? Or life in general? No questions?
No.
We really miss Question Girl. She needs to be here for more videos because she always has something. Come on, Kurt. Think of something. No?
Questions, no.
I'm putting him on the spot. And he's like, he's got this death look stare he's giving me, like, don't do that to me. But, well, if he has no questions, then maybe you guys can come up with some that I can answer for you. But I love these two guys still. And I'll tell you, that's probably my biggest failing as a ball python breeder, is every snake that I have, I love. So snakes that I should look at selling, you know, especially my adults, I look and I think, oh, I should sell that snake from a business standpoint. But when it comes time to really look at doing it, I can never do it because I like them too much. So, you know, like this guy here, I have better male Axanthics, like more genes that I breed. But I always keep him like, well, he'll be my backup breeder. And I have used him for that, so he gets to stay for that. And this guy, you know, every year I try to do a killer bee clutch with him, so he sticks around for that. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.